Hey guys, so in a previous video I showed you how to find the net income on Intacct. Right, so here I have my net income for the current year in Excel format, and right down here we said this 21,449 was our net income. And that's not entirely true, because Intacct doesn't take into account everything that you would need to take into account for the earnings that you would present to, say, your board of advisors or the rest of the EB. So we're going to have to make a few adjustments, and I have them listed out right here. But we're going to start with our Intacct income. And that's going to be 21,449. And we got that straight from here, right? And then we're going to make an adjustment for Podio reimbursements. So we're going to go to Podio, and we're going to make sure that we filter so that it's everything that's made by RLC, or more specifically by your VPF, or whoever does the accounting. And you're going to look for those that still have this symbol right here, approved by accounting representative, because that means that they haven't been processed and approved yet, which means they won't show up on Intacct. So for me, that's these two right here, right? This one for $320, and then this one for $10. So I'm going to go back here, I'm going to say minus $330. Then, and this is the trickiest part, we're going to make an adjustment for the affiliation fee. Now, if you look at last year's income statement, you can see that they made a $30,000 affiliation fee payment in November. But that payment wasn't just for something that happened in November, it was for the right to be in Isaac and for May through the end of December. Right? So I want to attribute that to each of those months. And I don't want to attribute it to each month equally, because I don't make revenue equally in those different months. So just hold on a little bit here, right? So this is also my prior year income statement, except I deleted the expenses, and I instead made a line graph at the bottom. So you can see here, right, we have summer peak right here, and we have winter peak right here. And what I'm really interested are these numbers coming across, right? So this is the percent of revenue, right, my total incoming and outgoing exchange revenue, for the entire year that was made in January. So in January, we only made 1% of our exchange revenue. In February, 8%, so on and so forth. Now I know that my new affiliation fee, right, which we can see right here, and you can get from your VPF if you don't already know it. I know that my upcoming affiliation fee of $27,901 is for these months from May to the end of December. But right now I'm in the beginning of August, right? So I don't want to record the entire $27,901 in expenses. I only want to record the sum. I only want to record the months that have gone by, right? So May, June, and July have all passed. So I should record, whoops. The months that have passed, divided by all the months that affiliation fee payment pays for. Right, so that $27,900 that I showed you before is for the rest of the year, but right now, only those initial 3 months in the blue have gone by. And in order to actually see this number, I'm going to have to turn it into percent. There we go. Alright, so let's just go over that one more time, because that concept could be a little tricky. So I'm summing all the months that have passed as a percent of their revenue. This way it's weighted towards how much revenue I get in each one of those months. And I'm going to divide it by all of the revenue earned in that period. Right? So I earned 78% of the revenue for the affiliation fee that's coming up. And this is based on historical data, but it tends not to change too much from year to year. So I've got a $27,900 affiliation fee coming up, and I should record 78% of it. Right, and I should make this a negative. Awesome. So, yeah, there we go. And then I need to make an adjustment for my accounts receivable. Now I did that in a video previously, so I'm just going to make up a number right now. Right, so let's say $500 I don't expect to receive, even though it's recorded in my income statement. Right, now remember that as soon as you make the invoice, as soon as your as soon as you sign the contract and that invoice is put on Intacct, it appears in your income statement, even though you haven't received the money yet. So it's possible that something else goes wrong and that you don't end up getting the money. That's why you need to make an adjustment. Right? And so private accounts would be, let's say you throw cherry blossoms like DC does, or you have receipts that comes out of a private bank, and those reimbursements are still pending. You need to make an adjustment for them. And then some LCs also do like monetary rewards and recognition. So like we'll buy you dinner if you sign a TN or something like that, or if you manage 10 EPs, right? So you should also have an estimate for how much you expect for that. Cool. So then you just sum them up. And this is the actual true net income for the year for your EV. And as you can see, that number is quite a bit different than what we started with from the Intacct net income. So yeah, that's a useful tool. I hope this helped. If there are questions, of course, leave it in the comment section below. And thank you.